Today I'm going to tell you, let's take a little trip into the future of marketing, specifically the future of conversion. Now, this is something we're really obsessed about at Unbounce. We've created a new team, machine learning team, so we can develop an algorithm that predicts conversion. Now, and this is all about conversion automation. The word automation tends to scare people because you think, the machines are going to take over, they're going to make decisions for us. That's not really true. At least that's not where we're taking it. I mean, the machines are coming, and they're going to do certain things, but one of the great things they're going to do is they're going to start fixing some of the things that we're doing wrong, right? Because as marketers, we make mistakes, quite a lot of mistakes often. They're going to help us fix these. If you can get my slides back up, that would be sweet. All right, so what is it we're doing wrong that these machines are going to fix? Quite a lot of things. I mean, we test opinions instead of insights. People just say, hey, can we test that? I think it would be better. It's not the right approach. Testing the wrong things. Some things will have no impact on conversion. Other things will. We need to know what they are. Stopping tests too early. Everybody does this. I did this for years. Every single A/B test you run will have a spike at the beginning. You go, ooh, this is so good, and you push it live, and then your business goes like this. Or the opposite, you get scared. So that will remove that problem. And Andy talked about some of this. We focus on the surface conversion metrics. How many leads did we get? How many new customers? That's the wrong approach. We need to look right down, like he was saying, cohort analysis to get lifetime value. And the machine learning part of this and connected systems will do this for us, because it's kind of complicated to do yourself. So we need to make a change. So this is a little bit about what could be happening in the future. Now, this is the Unbounce dashboard. What you normally do is you make your page and then you click publish. You won't need to do that. This algorithm will have looked at millions of pages, and it will be able to predict pretty closely what the conversion rate of your page will be without having any traffic, like no traffic sent to your page. Low traffic sites, like any small business, they have massive problems because they want to test, they want to optimize, but they don't have enough traffic. They won't need any traffic. I mean, it will also analyze traffic, behavior on site, all of these things, but as a first step, you'll be able to make your page perform better without anyone even seeing it. Because there'll be all these, a million pages, but also it'll look at, like, say, 20,000 of people that are in your industry, the same use case of your page, and it will give you recommendations, sentiment analysis, word analysis, things you can do to make it perform better. Cohort analysis, exactly. So you can make sure you get your ideal customer, maybe if you're running a test, A versus B versus C. B converts better. What do? You push it live. But what if C got you more of your ideal customer? You can go through that. It's really difficult, and most of the time you just celebrate B. With an automated system, it will correct that and turn on the right version. Every page will have scroll and click map analysis done automatically on your behalf, and these insights will be pushed to you. And again, not just taken control of by evil machines.
Hello, Oli. I'm running a scroll map analysis on your latest blog post. Only 1.6% of viewers rate the CTA. I will slap you with my recommendation.
So instead of turning it on, modern interactions, you'll get a Slack message saying that nobody's getting to your CTA on your blog. If you bring it up to below the fourth paragraph, which is the hotspot of the scroll map, and it's semantically relevant to the text there, you'll get 118% lift in click-through rate on that. This story is based on us actually doing this manually, and that's the result we got. But these kind of insights will just be pushed to us. If you want to do this, just type yes, and I'll turn it on, right? This is the human side of this. The machines give us the insights, and we decide whether we want to implement them or not. And we'll never, ever have to ask this question again, which every single person asks. If you ask a CRO expert, everyone just says, what should I test? We'll never have to ask that again. And it will get rid of the need for all of these blog posts, many of which I'm to blame for. Okay, I sent out a survey last week, and tons of you replied, like 150. which helped shape the talk. So I'm going to focus on some of the things you're interested in. But also, some of you submitted your pages, and a few of them are going to be included in the talk. I'll try not to be mean, but we'll see how that goes. So that's the future, right? We're not quite there yet. That's what's going to happen. But for the time being, I've come up with these conversion equations. This is the human part. This is what we can actually do right now. And so I'm going to walk through some of them. What is a conversion equation? Well, it's got many parts. Heuristic analysis, rapid experimentation. I'm going to show you how to do that. Conversion research, they're closely related. Conversion data from what we have, and also Wistia, they share a lot of amazing data with me. It's so good. Academic studies. Conversion Excel Institute, it's new. They have Pep Laya from Conversion Excel. They've built a lab in Austin. They're doing a lot of great work. All the tools that we hear about all the time, and some of the frameworks from other thought leaders, because the equation gets stronger the more inputs there are, so it's not just one person's perspective. These are the 7. Based on your responses, I'll go through 3 of them. And the first one, what they do is they tell you what's wrong and what order you should optimize based on the results of these equations. What you do basically, there's lots of exercises to plug in. Actually, I'll show you one in a second. Okay. Most important one is clarity. If you can't communicate, you can't convert, you have to get that right at the start.
Fuck off doesn't mean go away. Fuck off means fuck off.
Can't get more clear than that. And that's kind of, you want to feel that way. We want our customers to feel like that way when we communicate what it is we do. So here's the clarity equation. Like I said, so you can do tasks to fill in all of the gaps in here, all the acronyms, to give you a score. And to make it simpler, I've broken it down into 7 parts. Distraction, what are all the things that are distracting someone from understanding your value proposition? And there's lots of tools in here. So actually, on the next slide, there's a link to a landing page which has all of the tools I mentioned, a whole bunch of links. So don't worry about taking things down now. Everything is on there. Expectation. Does your page meet the expectations set prior to the click? And does your CTA communicate what's going to happen next? Readability. There are a lot of readability problems. This is a longer sub-equation. I'll go into some of that. Visual identification. If you look at the main hero image on your page in isolation, can people understand what you do? Immediacy. Can you do all of this in 5 seconds? Specificity. Are the details of your offer present, right? The things that differentiate you from someone else. Could be price, could be location, whatever it is, you need to get the details in there. And hyperbole, which is a lot of businesses just yap on about themselves. They don't really talk about the actual value. It breaks down like that. It's called Dervish, which moves into a chart like this. This would be a perfect score, which is never going to happen. This is more likely to what you'll have there. Now you know you have a readability and an immediacy problem. You can stop trying to run tests or optimizing the rest of them because you know where the problems lie. Now, I'll go through some examples, and I'll use different sites to go through them, but you would just use your own site or your own landing page for all of these. Can people understand it in 5 seconds? Okay, someone shared this. Nicole, my girlfriend, shared this with me. She was looking at this software, and I thought, well, what does it actually do? Like, you're introducing it, thanks, that's great, but I don't know what it does. So I ran a 5-second test. Usability Hub, 5-second test. If you don't know, you show someone a screenshot for 5 seconds, it goes away, and you ask a question. It's great for uncovering clarity problems. It's qualitative analysis. I said, what do you think this page was about? Lots of generic answers. Only 6% knew it was business intelligence software, because they don't really say that. Maybe they got that from the dashboard. So that's a terrible score. How do you fix it? Well, I looked around the site, and it took me a while. I went to the products page to figure out what they actually do, which is that. So I just replaced it and ran it again. Now you can see what's happening, right? Immediately, people are getting what it is you actually do, 42%. And this is really, really easy, and this took me no time to do this. So now you can see you're starting to optimize this really simply. Because people don't tend to tell you what they do. I see site after site where they congratulate themselves or talk about awards, but they don't actually explain what it is they do. Readability. Does anyone remember page fights? couple of people. It was an online show we did, me and Conversion Excel, where we would shit on landing pages, and it got quite violent. And at some point, we thought, this isn't really working. We're not getting the ROI from this that we want. It wasn't growing. So Pep got on growthhacker.com and asked the question, how would you grow this business? This is the first response. I'm glad I saw this on a lazy Saturday when I had time to immerse myself in this lukewarm shire of digital hipster parochialism, seamlessly integrated with slightly veiled pseudo-programmer invective. He's not a fan, clearly. So I thought, this is a really complicated sentence, so I put it in readabilityscore.com, which analyzes the text based on a Flesch-Kincaid reading ease score. 100 is very, very good, which is the best, and 0 is you can't read it. It scored 18.4, which is really, really low. So it's a great tool. Put your copy in there, and you'll get a sense. It also gives you a grade level. You have to have a master's degree to understand this guy, according to this. You want to get, a really high score there. And it's not too difficult, but it's a great way of getting a gut check whether you're being a little too complicated. And data to back it up. So this is brand new. No one's seen this before. This is from we're putting it into our algorithm right now. And you can see it's not a big impact, but as the reading ease goes up, which you want, the conversion rate also goes up. You can see a slight incline there. The more of these equation parts that we actually can connect to into the algorithm, the stronger it will become. To the ROI part. Pep made a nice observation, because page fights is kind of the beginning of how I met Nicole. So that's the ROI of page fights. Quite happy about that. All right, here's a carousel. These things we get on websites at the top. Everyone loves to hate carousels, well, because they suck and they're stupid. But the other time you get them is for testimonials. Super common. I'm going to read this one. Okay, so carousels are effective at being able to tell people carousels pose accessibility issues for keyboard and screen. I'm really frustrated. This happens all the time, and it's so silly. People just turn it on, like widgets from themes they buy. They think it's cool. It's not cool at all. I fucking hate it. This is the motion reading facility ratio. So how many of the words can you actually read before it goes away? You have one of these, just take it to your boss or client and say, point out how much of it you can actually read, because it's really silly. Worst case, lowest barrier, slow it down. Better yet, just extract them all out and make them better. So, 0.48, there were some more elements that I didn't have time to go through. But on that page as well, I'm writing an instructional guide that will walk you through how to do all of this. So put your email address in there, and I will send it to you when it's ready, hopefully next week. And I will never send you another email. I'm not building a list. You'll get one email only, because I just want to help. So that's about in the middle. That's OK. So turn off the autoplay, simplify the copy. There's something I took out, but you can quite easily make changes and make it better. OK, visual ID. I saw this landing page, and I thought, why is Larry King on there? And more importantly, why is he shooting laser beams out of his thumb? It's just, I don't know. I'm like, well, if I think it's weird, maybe other people think it's weird. So again, I went and did a 5-second test. Now, I'm not affiliated with Usability Hub. It's just a great tool for rapid experimentation. So what do you think this company sells? Loans, lend money, insurance, business loans. Hardly anyone got it. And specificity. The word business is critical to their success. It's not a loan for anyone. It's just for businesses. So I thought, I want to see if it's a Larry problem. So I blurred everything else out and asked, isolating the visual, what do people think it is now? Meeting a guy, a talk show, something about old men, doctor consultation, Viagra. And a lot of people just didn't get it. Right? So we definitely have a Larry problem. So I just deleted him. Got in Photoshop and I just kicked him out of there. Ran it again. Look at that. That's exactly what they do. I mean, he's a very high-priced endorsement, so they have to put him somewhere, but don't make him distract from what you do at the top. Visuals need to mean something. That's a 500% increase just by deleting him. Okay, this is a magazine. 2 different dentists with the same stock photos side by side. How lame is that? And this one's cheaper, so I'll just go with them. But I stopped trusting them because I think these guys aren't professional enough to actually have real photography. Yeah? Okay. Denise? This is Sandstone Castles, Denise's page here. I looked at this image and I thought, that looks like stock, and it's almost as bad as the overhead view of the laptop and the coffee cup that most SaaS businesses tend to use when they first start out. So I thought, well, let's have a look at this image. So I went to TinEye, a reverse image lookup, and there are 231 sites using this image. Some of which you may have come across and maybe you didn't like them, so then by association, oh, I don't really like you either. And it was 229 yesterday. So more and more companies are using this. So just take it out. Do the Larry thing with him, with that. Get your process further up the page. How do you work? And you, right? You're there as well, but just bring that stuff up because that's what people are going to care about for small business marketing. Or find a visual that represents something that you do and put that in there. But don't put an image in just because people say you need to have, a hero shot. Right, that's what people thought you do. Computers and keyboards, and that's not what you do. Nobody got it right. Okay. What do you think these guys do? Mattresses, all right. Energy. Like electricity and shit. Okay, don't do that. This is a lovely site. I love this. But the biggest problem I have with travel sites is you don't tell me where it is. I love this, but there's nothing there. I want to go there. I wish someone would do Shazam for landscape photos. You could just oh, that's where it is. That'd be amazing. If someone builds that, I want to invest. Just put a caption and maybe a CTA, book a trip to this place right now. That's kind of what I'd like to do. This is how you do it right. Where's Fishbox? Over here. This is how you do it. I look at this is a perfect context of use. I know it's going to be fish with, what was it called, instructions? Recipes. In a white box with blue bands around it. I know what it is. I know what to expect. It's perfect. That's what you need to be doing. Okay, use that as an example. So if you run these things and you figure out you have a visual clarity problem, how do you fix it? Well, so I took this one, because this is just about as generic as you can get for a dashboard. Test it with and without a caption. None, 60%. Got it. Just because people read captions. Now, you have a design problem, so that's not solving it, it's just making it better. So you still want to go and try and make, a better graphic there, potentially with call-outs that point to the features and benefits that are actually important and make you different. Okay, so that brought that right up. Well, like I said, on that page, you can get the full guide once I finish writing it, because I had to skip some of the parts there. Now, where are the guys from Dublin? So I was in Dublin speaking, and I checked into my hotel, and they gave me a key card for room 324. So I go down the corridor, and there's a lady waiting at the elevator, so I wait beside her, and we chit-chat. Elevator opens, I let her in first. She goes in, puts her card in, and presses the 3rd floor. So now I don't have to do anything, so I kind of awkwardly stand beside her. Comes up, I let her out again first. Now I'm following her out of the elevator. I see the sign, I go, oh yeah, I'll go this way, and I'm still following her like some creepy pervert. Going down, and it's not until I see 2 doors in a row where I get shit, I'm going the wrong way. But now I've walked her right to her door. She goes in, so dodgy. So I was kind of upset about that, so I went back to my room, and I'm going to run an experiment on this. So I described the context. I said, you've got room 324, would you turn right or left? 33% of people went the wrong way. Right? So we have a problem here. So I mocked it up graphically so I can change it, manipulate it, ran it again, exact same problem. Now I'm going to apply, so I know I have a design problem, right? So when you have a design problem, you need a way to solve it. ADD, attention-driven design, these are 23 principles I have, graphic design principles that can help you focus people on what they're supposed to be doing or what you want them to be doing. And I'll use 4 of them to fix this design. So first of all, contrast. I made that stand out because they're semantically different. This is where I am, this is where I'm going. This makes me relax, I'm on the right floor, and then I put these numbers with the correct arrow and a little bit of white space in the middle. Only 8% went the wrong way. Then I put some interruption. I broke them apart so it's really obvious which way to go. Everyone got it right. Way fewer perverts in the hotel. Good for everyone. Okay, so if you can identify a design problem, use these principles to fix it. Because nobody's really ever been taught to design for conversion. These principles will help you do that. There's an ebook of all of that. Again, it's at that link on that landing page. Design matters. It matters a lot, much more than people give it credit. You know, it creates joy. We all know that with, like, say, Apple products or whatever it is we like, we love. But it gets overlooked in many ways. It also reduces confusion. Now, put your hand up if you have a car or you've ever driven in your life. Right? Obviously. You're at the petrol station. Look at how I got like UK with you there. And you have that little arrow, and it's really important. Because if you don't have that, this is really sped up. It takes 2.5 minutes, and someone else comes, fills up, pays, and leaves before it actually solve this problem. It should reduce germs. You've already seen these things, so guys are kind of, a guy goes in, you lift it up with your foot, try and do that, do your business, but guys are kind of gross. If the sensor is blocked, automatic flush might not activate, lower the seat and lid or use the manual button. But you're not going to do that again because it's really loud and you don't want to touch the thing. Just move it 2 inches to the right and it will be perfect. Right? Design can so easily solve problems. You can speed up repeatable tasks. I found another design problem over here. So this happens every day, all the time, many times, and that's the problem, repeatable problems. So I need to get in. Here's the card reader. Here's my card in here. Okay, sure I can do that, but it's annoying, right? I'd rather, see, annoying. I'd rather do this, but it looks like I'm humping the wall. I mean, it works. But, I mean, come on, it's just move it from here to here, and I could just walk past it, right? Or put it there. I still am humping something, but you see what I mean? And then when we merge design thinking with the data that's we're going to have access to, that is the fastest path to delightful experiences. But you might be thinking, well, I'm not a designer or a developer. Like, how do I create the mockups for these tests that I'm doing? Right? Because I'm a designer and a developer. I can do these things. I don't have the Photoshop files. I can't delete Larry. I'm not a coder. I can't do this with CSS. Well, it's actually, it's pretty easy. Without permission, you can actually start doing this stuff.
All right, Edinburgh, this is the hack I'm talking about. You take that line of JavaScript and you paste it in the address bar. Now, for some reason, Chrome strips it out, so you put JavaScript back in. And what it's done is made this page editable, live. Not live on the internet, but live in my browser, so I can make changes without asking for permission, without any tech skills. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the value proposition of the conference website, see if I can sell more tickets. So let's say the only marketing event in Scotland with a free deep-fried Mars bar. Because clearly that's going to convert way better than the original. So what you do is you take a screenshot of that, you go to Usability Hub, and you create a 5-second test. You upload your image, then you can set up some context, and then you can ask a question. What do you think?
It's really simple. And you get all these answers back, and sometimes they're hilarious or scary, and you can take them to your stakeholders and go, look, everything's kind of broken. Can you give me some budget or some time to try and fix this? People are much more willing to do that when you can show them evidence. So there's another kind of test you can do. It's called a preference test, where they have as long as they want to look at it, and you're basically saying, which one of these do you prefer? So I teed it up by saying, your boss has given you the okay to go to a marketing conference in Edinburgh. Which of these would you rather attend? Deep fried Mars bar won by 27%. So then that got me really curious. What else could we do to calm Brian's nerves and sell more tickets for next year? How about how to headbutt a mugger class, right? Classic Scottish self-defense. No, that didn't work. Maybe it's a little intimidating. Braveheart on VHS? That's going to be a collector's item for sure. No. Scotch tasting. That's bound to work. Yeah, okay, we're going in the right direction again. But let's get serious now. Free Hearts tickets. Hibs tickets? Ooh! I don't know how many Hearts fans there are here. Sorry. There'll be none of you here next year. And then how about haggis hunting? Then you can get the international audience because they'll think it's real. Okay, so some food for thought for next food for thought. Or here's just a little tip. You can talk to me about it if you want. Upwork is like Elance. For $25, they'll build you any page from anywhere and build it inside Unbounce. So then you can just change everything. You can move stuff around, change the copy, change the graphics, whatever you want, really easy. And then you can do all this experimentation without any permission. Just get a free account or whatever, just like, it won't cost you anything. So yeah, the full instructions for all the collaborative stuff will be in there, hopefully next week. I'm from Vancouver, but I lived in Montreal for 2 years, and it's really cold there. So I was looking for a sunny vacation for Nicole and myself. I saw this one. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. Weirdly, it sends me off to airtransat.com. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Expedia is usually pretty good about that stuff. But I'm like, no, I'll look around. It looks kind of good. I'm like, book early and save, $400 per couple per week. Now, I know it's not a button, but it's kind of suggesting I can book early and save. Nothing happens. I'm like, oh, what do I do? Right. With my 20 years of experience, I know if I click that little tray there, it'll open up and there'll be a CTA right hiding inside it. Boink. Exactly what I was looking for. I'm feeling like so proud of myself right now. So I click on save up to $400 per couple per week. It's the same thing. And it just closes again. So I'm like, all right, well, the other one, what's that? It's for a single parent. I'm not a single parent, but I just want something to work. Closes again. I do this for like a minute and a half. Just like, I'm clicking like the little arrow, maybe just 400, and like nothing happened. I'm like, what can I do on this page? It's so annoying. And then I see these social share buttons, because I'm going to go to Google Plus and talk about this, because that's dead. Maybe I'll email it to myself to remind myself never to come back to this shitty website. Printing it might be a good idea. Take it to a travel agent, like, could you book this for me? Like, I can't do it myself, And then I see this. I'm like, why is there a QR code on here? Now, I have a QR code reader on my phone. They don't come by default. I'm just morbidly curious about shitty experiences. So I'm like, all right, I'll do this. Sure enough, it pops. So I pull out my phone. Gives me a URL. I'm like, okay, I'll bite. I'll click this.
I have seen QR codes on websites, and I have scanned them. Do you know where they take me? Back to the website.
Which is exactly what it did, except now it's a call to action. I can spend $3,000 on my phone, but not on desktop. Not happy about that.
Bullshit.
It's total bullshit, and there's so much bullshit marketing out there. The first rule of CTAs. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that's really obvious. Everyone has a call to action. Well, they didn't. And I bet if you look at the top 20 highest traffic pages on your website, half of them will have old content, and half won't have a CTA. We've done it too. For 7 years, we've owned what is a landing page on Google. It takes you here. This is like an information page, lots of internal links to other kind of generic pages, side nav. So what we did, we removed the internal links, took away the nav, added a button. We know on our highest conversion path, if people go to the templates page, they're more likely to convert. So we just said, hey, look at the templates. 171% increase in people going to where we want them to go, just by following a few of those simple rules. Every landing page, every page on your website has a conversion opportunity, and every conversion opportunity needs a CTA of some form. Whose site is this one? Oh, there, okay. Now, this video, I mean, I don't know how much you look at your video analytics, but there's a good chance most people don't watch it. It might be as low as 10%. You need to know that. And this is a great video. I think the content in this is better than the content below it, and you need the supporting content in case people don't watch the video. What I would suggest is a contractor is your target audience. Sit down with them, make them watch the video, and then simple instruction. Whenever they see something that they like or is beneficial to them, tell them to stop and have a conversation about it. The copy you'll get from that, it will fuel your website, your campaigns, your ads, everything. That's the voice of user you really need. And they may also not like any of it, but I think that's a good technique. Because video is complicated, right? This is because of all the data I've got from Wistia. And about size of the video player, where you should put it, but more importantly, talking about CTAs, there are 3 types of CTA if you use Wistia if you're video hosting. There's a turnstile, that's an email collection, portion of the way through. There's an annotation, like a little thing you've seen on YouTube that you can click up there, or a full screen CTA. And I want to see what the impact of certain words, I'd love to do some of Natalie's stuff with this, on this. So again, this is really long. There's the acronym. Because we all know if you're running out of talc, you need to be really quiet about it. Because why do you have talc? Anyway. So looking at annotations versus CTAs, is there a difference when using certain words in the impact on conversion? So in annotations up here, click here destroys not saying click here. And it kind of makes sense because it's over there, like click over here. For a full screen one, it's click. It's a little softer, but both of them beat not saying it. It's a nice action word. People kind of need to be told what to do sometimes. My versus your. Lots of people debate this. Start my free trial, download my ebook, your ebook. Well, for the annotation, your wins. Full screen, my wins. There's a pattern happening here. The bigger right-in-your-face thing needs to be a bit calmer, a bit nicer. How about now, some urgency. Now works for annotations, but not for the full screen CTA. Again, these things are complete opposites. How about some exclamation points with annotations? Just go crazy, like, whoa. Actually, that's low sample size. This is massive amounts of data. So this is very, very good data, apart from that one. So you have to go into one exclamation mark actually works. Full screen, don't do it. Right? Every single piece of data here is completely opposite, which is why it's dangerous. Like, say you read a blog post about a certain thing, and you implement it everywhere. Like, oh, this in a CTA works. No, every one is different. Here's like a summary page. You'll get the slides after. And this includes Unbounce data about lead gen forms with the same kinds of things. Every conversion opportunity is unique. And in the future of marketing, at least what I want to see in the future, when you're typing in your CTA, it will give you an auto-suggest, kind of like Google, but with a predicted increase in conversion based on all of this data, which would just be mind-blowing. Right? Every single conversion opportunity is unique. You can't apply what you know at one thing to others. We have to, and that's what machine learning will do. It'll stop us making these mistakes I was talking about at the beginning. Because that's what makes us human, and we can't forget the human part of this. Here's a photography course I was critiquing, and I got to the testimonials, and I started reading them. Megan has been a lifesaver. No, she hasn't. This isn't Baywatch. This is a photography course. Reaching out to Megan is one of the best things I've ever done. You must have a shitty life. That's the best thing you've ever done. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is actually a really good course with some amazing photographers that come out of it. But this is getting into the realm of hyperbole, where you're like, that's a bit over the top. You stop believing them so much. You got to be really careful what you put inside quotation marks. I don't want him outside my house. How mean is that? Yeah, we'll let you marry her, but you're not getting any of my money. It's terrible. This is from someone at some HR thing. I'm going to read this testimonial. I must honestly thank you for all your assistance. You have personalized the whole experience that I have had with you and kept in touch by communicating with me on a regular basis, which other agencies have failed to do following initial registration with M&F. I appreciate this very much. I would have no hesitation in recommending to others who may be looking to secure. God, this is so boring. No one's going to read that, ever. And it's by Barbara from Glasgow. I mean, it's so anonymous. The secret to a great testimonial is demonstrating the transformational impact of someone being your customer going through this. This is why those sleazy before and after photos work. You don't have to be sleazy, but it's a really important thing. So here's the testimonial equation. Again, there's a lot, but we're in a church, so Reverend Fat Crib actually is quite appropriate. So I'll apply it quickly to this one of these generic ones. Readable, that's for like, does it have the swoop? It doesn't, so it gets 1 there. Enumerable, there's no numbers in there about the transformation. Verifiable, if you have a link to the source, that's great. Just make sure it's in a light box so it doesn't leave. Proximal, is it near what it's talking about? It's not. It was in a group of other testimonials. Non-hyperbolic, yes, it's not, blabbing on. Has a photo, doesn't count. Transformational images, video, text, none of those. Contextual, relatable, isolatable. Do you know what it is in isolation again? No, you can never tell what they do, and it's not branded, right? 18%. So this is a terrible testimonial. This is on our homepage. So going through it again, readable, doesn't swipe. Enumerable, you can see it goes from 5 to 20. Verifiable, you watch the video and you see him, and it's kind of trustworthy. I'll give it, and it's so a little bit of that. It's not kind of sourced, but it is linked, and it's in a light box, so it scores well there. Proximal, it's right next to our main value prop, talking about conversion. It's non-hyperbolic, has a photo which isn't stock. Authentic image gets a 1. Transformational images, no, it doesn't, but it does for the video and the text. These are weighted. Images are best because you immediately see the change. Video is second best because you might not watch it, and text kind of comes in third. So it scores great there. It's contextually related to where it's around. It's relatable. I believe he's a marketer, so the kind of tribal thing. Isolatable. On its own, you know it's Unbounce, and you know it's Workshop Digital. You understand the whole thing, and it's branded with our name. 85%, right? You can see how much better that is. So what you can do, on that landing page again, there is an interview script. Take one of your customers, or several customers, and read this script out. The questions in there will give you every single piece you need from the equation to have an amazing testimonial. It's really, really easy to do. I bought something online. It was a health product, and they sent me the wrong thing. So I emailed them and say, hey, you sent me the wrong thing. They're like, yeah, we know. We sent yours to someone else, and you got theirs. If you print out this thing, put it on, mail it back to us. We'll check it back into our inventory. When we make sure it's in there, we will send yours out. I'm like, no, you send it right now. You messed this up. And they're like, well, that's not our policy, sir. I'm like, I don't care. You just lost me as a customer. Eventually, they agreed to send it to me right now. When it arrived, it had the right product in it, but it also had a whole bunch of samples because they're trying to suck up. And this was one of them. You probably can't see. It's they didn't care enough to actually make a proper apology. I mean, the only relevant part is that. Or maybe formula, because we're talking about equations. But so we did an event, an online event for agencies. It was a really cool event. This was a landing page. Now, if you left, you got an exit intent pop-up. Everybody hates pop-ups. Pop-ups are evil. No one likes them. They're terrible. Don't use pop-ups. It's not true. Anything can be delightful, right? Emails, banners, pop-ups can also be delightful. We acquired one of the companies that does the exit intent stuff, so we had access to all the data. On average, 2 to 3.5% they convert at. A really good one, 5%, an excellent one, 8%. This one converted 19%, and we did a similar event in Germany, almost 27%. Right? So these are really helpful. We're giving the recordings, video, it's very high value. We see this all the time. When you're giving away a recording or video, these things work like gold. because it was relevant, valuable, well-timed, and designed to delight. Technology is not the problem. We don't need to be scared of machine learning or of this or any kind of automation. We're the ones that cause the problems because we misuse it. We use psychology in manipulative ways. A lot of affiliates do that because they don't give a shit about your customers. They care about the high-level conversion because that is what they get paid for, and then they leave. We can't behave that way. We have to be more respectful. And then we can put our value systems into these algorithms, like Moz, tag fee. If you put tag fee in there, then the suggestions it makes for you and for a headline change or something will be more in line with how you want to talk to your customers as a human brand. Right? So we shouldn't be scared of it. It's going to be amazing. Thank you very much.